Hello everyone, it is Susan here and welcome to my channel, Susan Hiles Art. In this video is my crafty chit chat and slow stitching video that I put out every Monday and is my favorite video of the week to make. So today, I don't know, there's lots going on, and I always say that and then I run out of time and I don't. But we are going to sew together my 3-page Just Because book, and then we're going to look at what we're going to work on next. So let's start with this. The first thing that I want to do is share the last page. So it's done. So you guys saw this last week, except it was all pinned down, and now it is all sewn and it's done. So I ended up using the cheap silver butterfly, and I think it's perfect for this page. Yeah. And so I have the book pinned together. I have it pinned over here on the additional fabric, the extension fabric that I put purposely on the pages to be able to sew the pages together. I think what I want to do is do the cross stitch over here, and like a fairly good size cross stitch. And I figure, since I have been sharing with you a different stitch every week, I figure, well, let me share with you the cross stitch. Now, to me, the cross stitch is one of the easiest stitches, but that doesn't mean it's the easiest stitch for everybody, because I know that there's, stitches that might be easier to me that are, for whatever reason, more difficult for others, and vice versa, right? I don't want to assume that everybody knows how to do the cross stitch, but at the very least, maybe it will encourage you to use the cross stitch when you sew, like the next time, right? Whatever project you're working on, see if you can incorporate the cross stitch. So this is my little sample sheet right here, or a piece of fabric. And a cross stitch is just literally that. It's making, well, it's funny because you think of a cross and you think of a cross, right? And this is, so the cross stitch, I don't know how to explain this, is, if you're going to do a cross stitch project, that's what this is. And I'm assuming that that's where the name comes from. It's an X is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead, and all you do is you do the diagonal in one direction, and then you're going to come up on the other side and you'll do the diagonal in the other direction, and you have your cross stitch, or like I said, you have, an X. That's all it is an X. And I just pulled that way too tight, and yep. So there we go. So I'll do it one more time. We have our first diagonal. And what I like about these, they're very versatile. You can make them big, you can make them small, you can put them together in a grouping, or you can space them out. They're a great stitch to utilize. Like, maybe if you can't think of another stitch to use, almost every time you can use a cross stitch. You can. And like I say, it's easy. So that's it. So like I said, oh, look at that. I'm bleeding. I injured myself. I didn't even feel that. Isn't that interesting? Well, let me grab a tissue here. I am now injured. Oh no. So yeah, so you can, use the cross stitch on pretty much any project. All right. And I I was thinking about the fact that I use the word project a lot, and it may not be a term that most of you would use for like I use it for any type of project, whether it's a fabric project or a paper type project, whatever it is. I use the word project, and I was thinking some of you that may not be a usual word for you to use or to hear, but my background is project managing. So to me, life is a project. Everything is a project. And I approach everything that way. So when I say project, that's why, because that's what I know, right? All right. So like I say, I took the time to pin down the edging. And I know what I want to do because I want to keep it easy. I'm just going to do cross stitches down here. And it actually took me a minute to be able to get it pinned correctly so that the pages all looked okay. But I think that they're good. So like on the back here, like I think I'm going to end up going over this greenish fabric right here with my cross stitch, and that's okay. But I think what I might want to remember to do is to go under this piece of lace right here. So we'll see if it actually happens or not. All right, now how to begin. I think what I'll do, this page right here, there's a little spot right here. I can just go up kind of in the middle of those, and you're not going to see my little knot. I want to get it in a spot where I know I want to start the cross stitch. And okay. So now, like I said, I want a fairly big stitches. I just want to make sure I don't go through this piece of eyelet trim either. And so I just need to watch. I just need to keep an eye on both sides of the book to make sure I'm not stitching into something that I don't want to. But so far, so good. Okay. Yeah, so while I'm doing this, I don't know, I have a lot to chat about. I do sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes I think about what I want to chat about before I make these chit chat videos. Sometimes I think about it, sometimes I don't. And today I did. And I actually came up with a whole bunch of different topics that I feel like I wanted to just kind of chat about. So I guess I'll just chat away. I think the first thing is that I have purchased my vegetable, herb, and flower seeds to plant this summer of 2023. And yeah, so I can't, I have to stop buying them. Because it's very easy to buy them. They're like you're spending, I don't know, $2, $3, $4 per package of, it can be up to 1,000 seeds sometimes, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's just such a good deal that I don't want to pass them up. And then of course I want to grow like everything. So, but when I garden, which this will be my second year, so trust me, I am no way a pro at gardening for sure, but I do love it. I can say that. So this will be only my second year of gardening, and I container garden, and this year I'm putting up 4 raised beds that I bought actually at the end of last year. And so I have them. They're sitting in my garage in boxes. And I'll have my son put them together for me. And they're fairly large. They're not, you know, the largest ever, but they're pretty big. I mean, one of them is about almost 6 feet long by, I think it's 3 feet wide, and they're a foot high. And then I have 2 of those, and then I have 2 other ones that are, well, there's 6 sides to it, and it's basically 4 feet apart in diameter. So, and I have 2 of those, and those are 18 inches high. And then I still plan to use the containers that I grew in last year, because I should have probably done it from this side, right? Oh well, that's going to cover that. I'm not, you know me, I'm not going to worry about anything. And you can actually see the stitches from this side, so that's kind of cool. Okay. But what I was going to say is wait, let me get this in the right spot here. I purchased my seeds, like I said, and I have way over, I don't know how many I have, way over 50 different types of seeds. Now, I grow what I eat. So I'm like not one of those that, oh, I'm going to grow, I don't know, let's just say pumpkins because I want to make pumpkin pie. Well, you know what? I don't eat pumpkin pie, so I don't want to grow pumpkins. You know, it doesn't mean that, you know, pumpkins are bad to grow. It's just not my thing. So I have, like this year I bought a whole bunch of different types of tomato seeds. And that's because from watching YouTube videos last year, like there's this gardener that lives here in New Jersey, James Prigioni, and he has like over 1 million, you know, subscribers here on YouTube, and he's further south than I am in New Jersey, so he's in a different growing zone, but still, I like to follow him because, well, he's New Jersey, so, you know, you kind of think, well, you know, I mean, he obviously knows what he's doing. He grows in a backyard, and you know, just he took a regular grass backyard and made it all a garden, and it's amazing what he grows. I mean, and he literally grows everything. But but I think, well, if he can grow it, chances are, well, why can't I grow it, right? So he had multiple times I've heard him go on about how good, there's a couple types of tomatoes. One is Sun Gold, and the other one is it Super Sweet 100s? I might have that wrong. But so I had to get those, and I just found them in at an online store, a seed store that I had never heard of before. It's called Urban Farmer. And yeah, so, but besides that, I had placed my seed orders from M.I. Gardener as well as Baker's Creek. So like I said, I have, I don't know, probably including flowers and herbs, probably, I don't know, 70. No, maybe not that much. Maybe not that much. Maybe 60 different kinds of seeds that I need to plant this year. Now, I am not going to start my seeds early in the house with the grow lights. I right now am not interested in doing that. And you know, maybe in the future, like maybe next year or something, but right now I'm not interested in doing that. But what I will do is I'm going to take I have a little plastic greenhouse. I mean, it's like 6 feet by 6 feet, something like that. So you can actually walk in it and stand, no problem, and all of that. So I am going to have my son put that up probably in March. You know, so far we haven't really had snow here in New Jersey. So, you know, if we got a foot or two of snow, it would definitely ruin that, you know, it's a cheap little greenhouse. It was like $60, something like that. But I want it up because, ow, oh, I just poked myself again. But I want it put up so that I will start seeds in. So like a lot of gardeners are starting their seeds inside now. And I don't want to. I'm not ready. I'm not interested. But come March, mid-March, end of March, I will be ready. And so I want to use the greenhouse for that, because that will help to protect them from cold. And so like I look at my seeds, like I have a whole Excel spreadsheet. Yes, I do. Remember, I'm a project manager. So I have my spreadsheet. And yeah, just so like I have documented on there the different, like if they're frost resistant, what kind of temperature they grow in best. So I am taking that into account. So I'm not going to, you know, in mid-March in New Jersey, even in a greenhouse, without heat, just put seeds and like for something that, like a tomato, because that's not going to work. It's not going to grow. It won't be successful. So I am taking into account, well, which seeds are frost hardy or can handle like maybe 40-degree weather. So, you know, I sort my spreadsheet by the temperature column, and so I can see which ones I need to start with the seeds earlier than others. And then as March and April go on, I will be planting more and more and getting those seeds started before I put them out into either my raised beds or my containers. And so that, you know, that's basically my plan, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I think I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous because, you know, I have really no idea what I'm doing. Like I said, last year, 2022, was my first year ever growing vegetables. And yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it worked out well, but yeah. So I'm going to tie this off by just going through one layer of this fabric right here, and I'll just tie it off in here so that you can't see it. So that's my scoop on gardening. So I'm going to put a video out one of these days about what seeds I have. Like I'm going to have onions for the first time. Oh, I planted garlic last October, November, which will be ready this coming summer. I'm going to do potatoes. And yeah, so there's a few things that I'm going to have this year that I didn't have last year. All right, so let's take a look at this. So it's done. It is done. And that's the other thing, since I was talking about project managing, you know, you will hear me say done. And that's because when you work on a project, and I don't care if it's a craft project or a project in an office or wherever, you have your done stage because you think it's done, but it's not really done because there's like almost always something else to do. So that becomes the done stage when you really are done. So this to me is now done. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'll just flip through one more time. I love it. I love the feel of it. I love how each page is different, yet they are cohesive. And so Susan Taylor Brown, her link is below. This is all her thought, and you know, so all the credit goes to Susan. And I just love this book. I just love it. I don't have anything else like it. Even though I've done Just Because books before, this one just, to me, is just different. And maybe it's the shape of it. I do like the elongated, you know, the more rectangular type shape. So I really enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed dyeing the laces in the fabric so that I had, it was easy for me to select things to use because I dyed them. And so I knew that they would go together. And I do have the video below in my description box for the video where I dyed everything. So you can watch that if you would like to. But this is it. My 3-page Just Because book is done. Isn't it pretty? Oh my gosh, I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And what I really like is that, you know, you can, like, if you watch Susan work, you know, her style, her work, totally different than mine. And I love that. I love that, you know, I can pick up inspiration from her, and maybe I inspire others, you know, to pick up a needle and some fabric and thread and get sewing. So yeah. All right. Oh my gosh, I love it. I can just like feel it and just like keep touching it, and it's soft and yummy. Okay, we did it. Okay, so I'm gonna put that to the side. And then what we're gonna work on next is, okay, I haven't looked at this pile, well, in probably a couple months, but this is the pile of stuff that I have that for my Simplistic blocks, and inspired by someone in Susan Taylor Brown's Facebook group, and her name is Maria Ruiz, and she is the one that has inspired me to do more simplistic type blocks. So far we have this one, we have this one, we have this one. I like this one a lot. It's not the right size, it's too short, but we can fix that. I don't know how it ended up being the wrong size. That's a whole other thing. We have this one, it's upside down. This goes this way. So it's simplistic because there's not a lot on it. Although Maria's, she really does a beautiful job in her placement of the different pieces that she puts on hers, and she uses really everything, but to me it's simplistic because she'll do a lot of, like, a lot of her interest is her stitching, and I love that. And yeah, so there's another one. And then, which was the first one? Was it this one that we did? Maybe. And then we have this one, and I love them all. So I have 4. I wanted to make 6 blocks so that I could make a wall hanging with them. So we have 2 blocks to go. So I'm going to move that to the side. Now, again, I haven't looked at this stuff in a while. And you know what? A lot of times when I prepare for a different, project to work on, a lot of times it comes even from something that I gathered a while back. Because when I look at fabric, and I see fabric that goes really, really, really well together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be a beautiful whatever, right? Fabric journal cover or wall hanging, whatever the case may be. And then I put those things together because I know I want to use them at some point to make something. And so that's kind of what I did here. And I don't remember really what's here. And as I'm looking, I see it's not a lot. Now, I don't even know how or why I came up with these colors. Maybe because as I'm looking at this, like this has like that pinkish color with the browns. And here we have some pink with the browns and more pink. So maybe that's where I got this from. So let's look at these things first. All right, so I have this, so I can use this for some couching. So that's good. I like that. So I'll keep that out. I like this. This must have been dyed. Yep, because it has just a little bit fade of pink going through. I mean, that pink in the middle was there, but what was white is now partially pink, so I like that. I have this as well. This is a piece of ribbon from Michaels that the back of it is adhesive. And I think the reason I threw this here was because I think this is the end of what I have. I've used this for my December daily albums in December for Christmas. Sorry. I've used it for years. And so I'm thinking that this is probably the last piece of it that I have. I can definitely use this up on this block. So I have that. I have a little piece of pink lace. Super pretty. I'm wondering if I got this from Linda. So LinnieP's Place, she had sent me some items for a giveaway I had last year. I wonder if this is from her because it looks like Linda. And yeah, so check out LinnieP's Place here on YouTube because she does a lot of beautiful stitching. And this is something I made. It's a really shabby flower. And all I did this last year sometime. I cut different size circles of the same fabric and I shredded, I frayed the edges. I placed them on top of one another in different, so that they were different. Oh my gosh. What a video, huh? Oh my gosh. And then all I did was sew one button in the middle and I have a flower. So that to me, I want to try to use. I have to keep it simplistic. If I use this is a piece of a sari that I got at a thrift shop last year. So if I make this, like I could even, I don't know, I was going to say I could even make this my whole background. I could. So say I took from here to here, I'd have to measure. I could do that, but then that's not the same feel as these. So these are more, I want to call like patchwork, where there's just a lot of different, you know, fabrics in different colors. So I think I want to stay with that. So what I would do then is I could cut pieces of this and use a few pieces of this on my block, and can go ahead and add the flower somewhere on it. I can add some trim. I have this. Now I don't have to use everything that I have here, but gosh, it sure would be pretty, wouldn't it? As I'm looking at this piece, there is a shimmer to it, and I don't think I have anything except for this button right here. Anything shimmery. This is maybe more of a rustic feel. So as I look at this piece right here, I don't know that I would use that. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on it, like up top here, but it's definitely shimmery. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know about that. And then I have this, which I like. And then, well, I don't know. I mean, I could definitely incorporate some brown. Yeah, I can, because it'll look nice, you know, along with having this block on the wall hanging as well. So I need to pull out more things. Like I'll pull out some buttons and I'll see what I have. Yeah, yep. So that's my plan. So we'll start to work on this next week in my next Monday video. Oh, and I wanted to mention, this is important. On Saturday, so a couple days ago, I have an announcement out there for a one-day stitching open collaboration. What that means is everybody's invited to join in. You can do any kind of stitching that you want, machine or hand, whatever, embroidery, whatever. And you will post your video or Instagram picture on February 18th. And so check out my announcement video. I'll have it below, but Carol from Recrafted by Carol and I are the hosts of the one day. It's just one day, Saturday, February 18th. That's the day that you'll put out, like I say, your video or your picture. And we're using fabric, something with heart or hearts, and we're stitching. Those are the prompts, easy peasy, and it's called #SewMyHeart. So check out my announcement video, and you know, you're welcome to join in. And then I think the last thing that I'll talk about here is, this is the fabric that I'm using. This is muslin, and this is what I've been using as the block for all of these. This is the base of each block, and I have it torn. So that width-wise, it's the perfect width for, you know, to match this. So what I'll do, in fact, we can do it right now. Let's tear this together. So let me make sure. And so then when we go and start building our block, when we start with the composition next week on our Monday video, then this is what I'll use. So let me get rid of all this extra because I don't need it. So I'll move that to the side. And yeah, so this will be our block, and I will add all the fabrics on here and then the focal pieces. So that's it. Yeah. You know what? And next Monday, I'm going to try to talk about, because I've been trying to talk about something for like 2 weeks now. All it is talking about using cast iron pans to cook in. We need to have a discussion about that. So that'll be next Monday. Hopefully. All right, so that's it. So thank you so much for being here. And, I hope that you have a wonderfully blessed week this week. And let me know if you have any questions. And I so much appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. All right, God bless. I'll see you Wednesday for my Roxy video where I'm doing vegetables. Yes, I'm really sewing vegetables. I have it in my head what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll work. And then on Friday is my video, my series, along with my co-hosts and I'm making a junk journal. So check out the other videos. All right, God bless. Bye-bye.